Namaskar, welcome, and I'm delighted to be welcoming someone who has served people in various capacities, starting in his field as an oncologist. He's known across the globe for being expert in his field, and there's much more to this humble, dedicated, passionate. Call him a physician or a guru in medical as well as spiritual field. Dr. Nori Ji joins me today. Such a delight and honor to have you here, sir. Namaste.
Thank you, Mr. Vyas. Thanks for...
So, I also want to share with viewers of ITV that we have his biography, autobiography, but this is in Telugu, and very soon we'll have English edition of this book. And I just feel that this book gives us a very good sort of a thread to walk with you from the point where you started, and what was your dream? You wanted to become an oncologist all along. How that materialized?
Yeah, first thing is I wanted to become a doctor and then find a specialty where I am in touch with the patients and have the satisfaction of helping them. And oncology field is one of the most gratifying field, where when you are able to cure a patient, you are with the patient forever, the family with their family. So the satisfaction you get as an oncologist is immense. So I have selected that specialty. Even in India, I completed my post-graduation in oncology and then came straight to New York and Sloan Kettering. I was very fortunate to be at the right place at the right time. So I started my education at Sloan Kettering in 1976, became a fellow, then an assistant attending, assistant professor, then full professor, then director of a service, participated in a significant number of research, innovative research, and then became chairman across the street from Memorial at Cornell, one of the largest departments, and continued training hundreds of doctors in America. Now I'm very proud that most of them have become leaders in the world in this specialty.
So I want to clap, number one, and there were a couple of steps where I thought if we seek a little bit more detail from you, and one layman question is, when you are in a field where you feel that the chances of getting success are not as high as it would be in some other field, when as layman I look at cancer and it grows in the body, and maybe there are many cases where you are not successful in saving the patients. I don't know if they have come late and it has.
Yeah.
So was that sort of a kind of frustrating feeling sometimes?
Yeah, I wouldn't call frustrating, I would call challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Challenging field because most of the patients, if they come in early stage, as most of you know, we can cure them. And as an oncologist, you should also be ready to accept, if you are not able to cure, you should be with the patient as long as they live. So you have to give confidence to the patient that everything that is possible will be done, and be with the patient so that nobody should be hopeless. So my gurus in Memorial, I followed them even today, is cure them if you can. Use all the knowledge and technology for 21st century, 22nd century technology, and try to cure them. And most of the cancers are curable. And some of them need supportive care, some of them need palliative care, but still you should always be with the patient.
And I'm happy to be with you right now. I'm not patient, but I'm patiently trying to understand that when you mentioned about research papers and you guided many students also in doing research. So if you look back when you started, let's say 4 or 5 decades of your journey as an oncologist, is there some breakthrough research which gave you the feeling of, whether you were a part of it or somebody else did it, but that empowers you in treating patients?
Yeah, my goal always has been innovative research, clinical research, and you can also do molecular biological research. And I'm very gratified the way oncology field is moving from a simplistic understanding of cancer, how it behaves 3 to 4 decades ago. Now we understand how it behaves, where it goes, and our basic understanding has changed over the last 3 decades, that the cells become uncontrolled, multiply. We didn't know where the signal for the cells are coming from. Now we know where the signals are coming from the cell membrane on the surface of the cell. So we have medications to control the signal. We call designer drugs, targeted drugs. And each drug works on a particular signal. We can even cure the cancers, for example, certain types of cancers, by knocking down that signal with a pill. You can cure the patient. There are a number of examples like that. I will not go into details. But the limitation is that particular drug works on one signal. And the cancer, as you know, can escape the signal and have multiple causes to ask the cell to multiply. So then we got into this immunotherapy. Immunotherapy increases your own immunity to fight against the cancer cell. This will work on multiple signals on the cell. So we have seen this evolution of understanding the molecular underpinnings of the cancer and how to modulate the response based on how many signals you can control. And immunotherapy right now is a paradigm change, is paradigm shift. It is showing incredible results alone with immunotherapy alone or with radiation, with chemotherapy. We have a living example. Jimmy Carter, our president, ex-president, has a particular type of cancer called melanoma that is spread to brain, bone, liver, everywhere. And with immunotherapy, he's alive 6-7 years, I think. After treatment, everything has responded in the body.
Wow. So now going back to your experience of working in innovative way, as well as rubbing shoulders with who's and who of our times, whether it is Prime Minister of India, President of India, and top leaders, how was the feeling? A sense of achievement, sometimes, if I may take the liberty of asking you, makes many people a little bit imbalanced, which didn't happen in your case. You have also been the recipient of some of the very prestigious recognition awards, whether it is Ellis Island or the list is quite long. So talk to me about both these aspects of your life where people who you only heard about, you read about them in newspapers, and then here they were sitting across and very friendly with you, as well as all these awards. So
yeah, I would say I'm fortunate to have the association, to have the opportunity to treat most of the dignitaries coming from India, including President Neelam Sanjeev Reddy, our president, when he was diagnosed with a lesion in the lung. All India Institute people decided to send him to America, to my hospital, Sloan Kettering, where he was a chronic smoker, so we cannot take out portions of the lung to remove the cancer. So we had to treat him with extremely complicated techniques, which I designed at that time. And we treated him with this new technique of intraoperative treatment, and his cancer was cured. And he passed away 18 years later with other conditions, not cancer. But every time when I went to India when he was alive, he used to invite me to his place in Bangalore, and we used to have a lot of discussion about what's going on in oncology and all that. And this is the kind of experience I had, and I consider myself as very blessed and fortunate to be involved.
So I will also share something which I came across in this book, and of course it's in Telugu, so I didn't get a chance to read, but there are some pictures which kind of takes us from point A to the ultimate point in life of Dr. Nori. And here's a young man, maybe in his teens, wearing a knicker in one of one of the pictures, and there is on the other side a gentleman sitting in a private jet flying from New York back to Delhi, invited by some top industrialists. So this is quite a dramatic change in your life. Talk to me about what were you thinking when you're flying alone in such a luxurious jet going to India all by yourself?
I think it's quite an experience, to be invited to see a VIP patient in Delhi, and they send a jet for me to fly from New York to Delhi. And again, during the travel, I'm the only one, maybe another doctor, Dr. Baines was with me. The entire, your schooling, your college, your medical education, your fellowships, your honors, everything flashes in front of your eyes, where you started and where you are now. So it's a gratifying experience, and
you could help him?
I could help him, yes, certainly.
That is very important, yes.
Certainly help. But the number of, not only her, but number of other people. In fact, I treated her about in 2002, when we inaugurated Baldwin Sai Mandir. This billionaire couple came from Delhi to Sloan Kettering to my hospital, to Cornell, New York Presbyterian Cornell. And he wanted to attend the inauguration of Sirdi Sai Baba Mandir, Baldwin, Sai Mandir in Baldwin. And these, I was so stunned to see this billionaire couple sitting on the floor for the entire program. And I felt very good that they took time to come there and participate in the inauguration. Okay, so and she survived 18 years after that, following the treatment.
Very, very nice. So now let us bring Baba to our conversation and to your life, how your intense association, call it, or devotion, and a sense of feeling his presence happened. And many times we feel that science and spirituality kind of have two different directions, which of course is not true as one sits with you. And so, Sai presence in your life.
Very profound question. I believe spirituality is beyond science. That's one thing I strongly believe. So you can be a greatest scientist, doctor, but you can also be a spiritualist also, believe in God. And my association with Sirdi Sai Baba is almost 50 years back, 50 years. When I was in medical school in Kurnool, there was that first Sirdi Baba temple on the banks of river Tungabhadra, a beautiful river, span, big wide span. They built a temple there. So all the medical students, they do all kinds of things. I used to, in the evenings, I used to go there, sit there, and I felt a kind of tranquility, peace whenever I went there. And then I used to go there a lot. Then I read a lot about him. He was that Sirdi Baba was not very famous in South at that time. Talking about 55 years ago. So then the more I read about him, the more I got interested, attached to him. His simplicity, his universal love, religious tolerance, non-ritualistic devotion. You don't have to do ritualistic prayers, all these complicated things. Simple things, Shraddha and Saburi, that is, be patient, be devoted, be patient, wait for your time to get your opportunity. So many things. He led entire life, very simplistic life. So these, anybody will be attached, and I was attached to his philosophy.
So let me ask you candidly. You mentioned that because lack of ritualistic emphasis you were drawn to him. But now when we look at whether it is Sai Mandir Baldwin, whether it is Sai Mandir at Hicksville, or of course India Home Sai Mandir and Cultural Center in on Oak Tree Road in New Jersey. So rituals definitely form an integral part of the functioning of any temple, and we see wonderful priests, whether they were Sanskrit, whether they were other priests, following rituals and having Rudrabhishek and all the festivals. So talk to me about the emphasis of rituals in the temples. Compare it with what you said earlier and how you find a harmony in the two.
Yeah, Baba, Sridi Baba never promoted any rituals, except Sri Ramanavami and all these for the sake of devotees. Happiness, he participated in that. Same thing, there's no harm in doing Rudrabhishekam, no harm in doing Dasara, all that. But these are all we have to promote the spirituality and the devotion among different levels of sectors of public. So it's like I give an example, you can have a Nirguna Upasana or a Saguna Upasana. Saguna Upasana means you see a statue and then, pray to that. Nirguna Upasana is you just feel that awareness of the Almighty. You can do that. So for different levels of our people, devotees, some of them we need to bring them into spiritual path through all these ritualistic things. Some of them do bhajans, some of them do prayers, but these are all paths to that concentration on God.
Okay, so another question, and maybe some of our viewers who know a little bit about you and not in depth, and somehow I know part of the answer, but allow me to ask you again, and that is, being a devotee is one thing, and then you have your connection and the current and you feel the divine presence, and so that is one side. But then here is a busy oncologist here in New York, known for his work across the globe and very busy. Why would he think about starting to become a total integral part of establishing as well as running Sai Mandir? How that idea came? And
there are two reasons. One is coming from my parents. My parents are highly spiritual and highly philosophical. So during my growing up, I think those traits came from them. And as I mentioned to you, I was attracted to Baba, Sridi Baba, during my medical school. So I wanted to expose that, my experience, to the rest of Indian community in New York, New Jersey, everywhere. So by promoting his mandirs, the very first Sridi Sai Baba mandir in America is established in Baldwin in 2002. And I want to thank, through this presentation, Dr. Sudhir Parikh was the chief guest when I inaugurated Sridi Sai Baba Mandir in Baldwin in 2002, July 4th. And then as people start coming from all over Northeast, from Delaware, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, they asked me, traveling takes 3-4 hours. Can you establish one more mandir in New Jersey? That prompted me to create some center in Islin, New Jersey, that is also very beautiful. A lot of people come there. That is the second one in this area. And then to make it more convenient for people on the eastern end of Long Island, that is Suffolk County, we established the third one in Hicksville. So all the three mandirs are mainly at the request of people. And as I mentioned in your previous presentation or talk, I mentioned to you in the other interview that we don't have any board of trustees in any of these centers. And all three centers are run by volunteers. and they are doing very well. And even in the pandemic, all the rituals, pujas, everything are going on very well. And I am very pleased that we could serve all the devotees of this area in Northeast with these 3 mandirs.
So now let me ask you about another aspect which many Sai devotees have not just experienced in their lives, but whether you read Sai Charitra and you feel that something happened, or sometimes people look up to Sai Baba as Kalpa Vraksha, so fulfillment of desires. That is one aspect. But the palpable love of the presence of Sai Baba is fulfilling for many devotees. In your case, what would you say you can recollect as a kind of miraculous proof of his presence for you?
Yeah, good. It's a very, very important question. That's good. Good question. People, Sai devotees, they experience many personal experiences. They feel the experience. And for me, there are so many experiences I had with, you may call them as miracles or chamatkars. I'll give you a short example of when I was looking to establish a mandir for Shirdi Baba first time in 2000. I could not find a place where we have zoning, we have parking. You know, in this country you have to have all kinds of approvals before you establish a place, religious place. So I looked around to find something for almost 5 to 8 years. I could not find a place. So one morning on a Thursday, in my puja, in my meditation, I communicated to Shirdi Baba that this is the last Thursday. I did my share, and I had to concentrate on my patient care too. I could not find a place for you, and maybe I'm not the right person to do that, and I'm going to relinquish my duties on this, and went to work to see my patients. And a patient came to me, whom I cured her about 10 years before. And when you cure somebody, you go into a little more details with family and like a family bonding. So I asked her, what do you do? So she said, I'm a real estate agent. I have a company, real estate company. That's Thursday. That's the same day I challenged Baba, I'm not doing it anymore. And she asked her, I just want to give a last chance. These are my requirements. It should have zoning, it should have parking, it should have approvals and everything for 200 people, 250 people to sit in a hall. She said, I'll go back and look in the computer. And she called me half an hour later. She said, I found something in Baldwin. It has all the requirements that you are looking for. You want me to schedule an appointment? I said, no, I'm coming. I stopped my clinic, I asked my associate to see the patient. I went there, I saw the place, I signed the contract.
Wow.
Remember, this is the day, Thursday. This is the day I challenged Baba, I'm not doing this anymore. And that has become like a pilgrimage center for most of people, devotees in Long Island and
So I must
New
also
Jersey.
admit, or rather I must share that I've also felt intense presence, which is a source of calmness or peace or joy at that very place. And I also got the opportunity of being in the presence of Vishwamji Maharaj, who has also become a kind of important part as an extension of Sai Baba's presence. Talk to me about your impression of the presence of Vishwamji Maharaj.
Yes, yes. He is my guru. And I have, in Telugu book, which you have shown, I have a chapter on Shirdi Baba, my attachment, my experiences. And finally, in the last line of that chapter, I ended, I have 2 gurus. One guru is in Samadhi, is Shirdi Sai Baba. The other guru is a living incarnation, is our Swamiji.
Looking at the time constraints, as we say thanks to you, anything else that you would like to add for our viewers?
I think these, I would like all the devotees to take advantage of the 3 places we have, one in Baldwin and one in Hicksville for people who are living in Suffolk County and eastern Long Island, and for New Jerseyans coming, and also from people around that area, Delaware and others. New Jersey Temple, I'm also very proud and privileged to say that has also become a pilgrimage for people to come and sit in front of Baba. You feel the tranquility, peace of mind, and unloading all your daily turbulences, headaches. So that is a greatest feeling. I would like everyone to enjoy also.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. My guest today, Dr. Nori Dattatreya, someone who is loved and respected by many, not just because of being a world-class oncologist, but also because of his devotion, which has also resulted into a place like Baldwin Sai Temple, Hicksville Sai Temple, and Sai Temple at Oak Tree, near Oak Tree Road at New Jersey, where people get rejuvenated. May you continue to have the strength to serve.
Thank you, Ashok. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanking Dr. Nori Dattatreya and thanking all of you with lots of good wishes. This is Ashok.